House Podcast with Mike and Muskie. I know I'd go from rags to riches if you would only say you care. And though my pocket may be empty, I'd be a millionaire. My clothes may still be torn.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the show. Obviously, we're playing that for certain reasons. Welcome to the Crack House Podcast. My name is Michael Sullivan. Joining me as always, Chris Muscalino. What's up, dude?
What's up, Miguel? What's good, man?
Nothing, man. Quite a week, dude. I mean, we'll start off, I guess, with the stuff in Texas. Crazy.
Whole week's been crazy, dude. Texas is pretty crazy. I see people on Facebook. I used to be one of those guys that used to put stuff out, showing my outrage and, my political leanings and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I was quiet. I saw a lot of people put stuff and people are upset. I get it. Doesn't change anything. And look, I get everything that the people that we know on Facebook that put stuff up about it. I agree with the 99% of it. To be honest with you, it's going to happen again, unfortunately.
Yeah, totally. That's a sad part.
That's a sad part. I think it's overly politicized at this point from one standpoint or the other. I agree with people. I mean, there should be some sort of gun reform on some level. I do support 2A. But there's two components of it, Mike. I mean, there's the mental illness standpoint that you can't ignore, that the country has a huge problem with. And you probably have these guns that is way too easy to get. I'm not saying that people shouldn't be able to own a firearm, but, I mean, there should be a little bit more in place, at the very least, some background checks, more stringent background checks. We brought it up a couple weeks ago as far as people, just saying crazy shit on social media. This guy apparently, I mean, he blew his grandmother's face off. He, I guess, was upset that he didn't graduate high school, but he chose to go to an elementary school and blow 20 kids and 2 teachers away. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Meantime, he's like on Facebook and he's putting posts, and he was another one of these idiots that was on there saying what he was going to do. And again, the problem I have is, look, I don't disagree with a lot of stuff that I saw, this week, from people that were upset. But, my thing is, look, we've talked about this. These podcasts get censored, the social media sites get censored, but somebody's saying crazy shit about going to school and blowing kids up, and, nothing's done. You want to kind of ignore that and let people rock. That I don't get. So it's upsetting. I don't want to take away from these kids. It's horrible. I remember when Sandy Hook happened 10 years ago, or whatever it was. That was horrible shit. But, look, you got a 2-component thing. Like I said, Mike, I think, the first part is the guns, obviously. The second part is the mental illness. And it just seems like both sides, I think everybody's together in the upset of it all. But I also think that, depending on what kind of the political spectrum that you aim from, you kind of focus on the mental illness part or the gun part. And I don't think at this point you're going to get any resolution or not happen again if you don't get a combination and focus on the two. The last thing I wanted to bring up to you that really upset me personally, and I didn't say anything, and I have people and friends who are obviously ex-law enforcement. I saw this kid was in there for like an hour, and these guys were like on the scene, and I saw like the head of the police department, admitted that they made a mistake in not going in sooner. I don't know. Maybe you can shed some light on it. I mean, you're ex-law enforcement. I mean, what happened there? I mean, this kid was like.
It seems they, I don't want to Monday morning quarterback it, but I'll Monday morning quarterback it and say, like, they didn't go in. They took their time. Yeah. I mean, I understand trying to formulate some kind of plan to go in.
Right. Yeah.
But if it took you an hour to get inside, I mean, there's other reports coming out now that these guys did go inside. They were getting shot at. They retreated out of the building again.
Right.
And then they waited for the team to show up. But still, I mean, I don't know. As a parent, I guess that would probably kick in, and I would just, you want to say that you want to go, you're going to go in, and you're going to go in with your people and try and just eliminate the threat, as we say.
Yeah, but I'm not going to kill these guys either, because apparently some of the guys that were on the force their kids were in there too.
Yeah. I think the chief didn't one chief lose his kid or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it's just terrible all around. Um, they got to figure out some kind of Venn diagram between like mental illness, buying the gun, background checks. But I mean, it's unfortunate to say, and I'll leave it at that. People are still going to get their hands on guns. Cocaine and heroin have been illegal for how long? People still get their hands on it. That's the sad part. You can now make a gun in your house with a 3D printer if you want to. So if you want to get it, people are gonna get their hands on it if they want to get their hands on it. That's the unfortunate part of this whole situation.
Well, that's absolutely true, Mike, and I think that's the bigger part of it. And you can make the laws, you could restrict people's ability to legally get some of these firearms, but like you said, I mean, I don't work in law enforcement. I never did, but I can tell you that if I needed to get a firearm, I could get it like yesterday if I needed to. And I can tell you the bad guys out there and the mentally ill, they can get it too, even if you put the laws in place, even if you take it out of the hands of the people that kind of follow the rules. And there's a lot of people that do. There's a lot of people that own firearms that do the right thing. And I think that's where the other component comes in. You can't, we talked about it with COVID last week, the obesity problem. People in this country choose to ignore that and focus on other stuff. And when this stuff comes around, people focus on the guns, and rightfully so, and their ability to get them. But I just feel like that whole other aspect of it is kind of swept under the rug. The other part is you don't hear anything about these kids, as far as, I mean, it just seems like these kids, for whatever what they're worth, these people that commit these shootings, depending on their race or creed, the media either focuses on them or ignores them, which kind of irks me too. And it's like, putting that aside for a second, even if you don't believe that, which is fine, maybe it's a crazy opinion on my part. I just go back to what I've talked about the last couple of times, regarding this, in the sense that if somebody's putting crazy shit up on Facebook, I have a hard time really buying that the algorithms and the censors on Twitter or Facebook don't pick up on this stuff quicker. And it's coming out after the fact that this kid, he texted some girl, I guess, like minutes before he did it. And there was stuff on Facebook weeks before that alluding to the fact that he was going to do this. That stuff's got to be, there should be better censors and better things in place, I think, to kind of help law enforcement with this kind of crap. But horrible shit, man. 20 kids, very young kids. It's upsetting. I have kids. You have kids. So whatever, man. I mean, it's an unfortunate incident. I don't think anything really is going to change. I think you're going to get a lot of political football stuff on both sides and pandering from both parties. It doesn't bring the kids back. And you're going to get another one. You're going to get another one, unfortunately. So hopefully it doesn't happen, but I'm not really optimistic about it.
Yeah. All you can do is hope and pray. So.
Absolutely. So we led off the show at Rags to Riches from an Astoria native, Tony Bennett, and probably one of the key songs from Goodfellas. And unfortunately, poor Ray LIOTTA, 67 years old. I guess he passed away in the DR in his sleep. Nobody really knows what happened. I got to imagine it, probably a heart attack or something to that effect. Looked like he led a hard life, even though he was a movie star. Seemed like he didn't keep that great in shape. He looked like, walking around in those commercials and stuff, and looked like towards the end, he was laboring a little bit. He looked haggard. It looked like, he smoked and didn't really take care of himself too much, but who knows? I saw a couple polls on Twitter, asking about what was he more known for? Was he more known for Field of Dreams or Goodfellas? And I think the poll came in like 83% Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Like 17% Field of Dreams. I don't even think it should have been that close, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that movie
put him on the map, right?
For lack of a better term, it made him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great. I mean,
he had a lot of stuff. I mean, granted, everybody knows him for Goodfellas, but
he pops for Goodfellas. But like that movie he did a couple of years before, what is it? Something Wild with Jeff Daniels. That I think puts him on the map because he plays like this real psycho bad guy
with Melanie
Griffith. And,
yeah.
And Jeff Daniels. He plays like the psycho boyfriend.
He's great in that.
he got all the praise from that movie, and then Goodfellas hits, and I mean Goodfellas just blows him up, and he gets a nice run out of Goodfellas in the 90s. He makes a ton of movies in the 90s, and I mean his career, like it said it in the paper, his career took a dip in the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
He was starting to make he was doing smaller roles and starting to make a comeback more towards the end. He was just in that Adam Sandler movie.
He was.
He was in Herbie Halloween.
He was in Herbie Halloween. He
had that show with J-Lo. He was playing the boss, like the lieutenant cop. J-Lo had that show for like one season a few years ago. He was on that. He had his big Chantix commercial. I'm sure they paid him a ton of dough for that.
He had those vodka commercials he did. He was in that movie with John Travolta, Hog Wiles, with Tim Allen.
Yeah, he was. He was. He was starting to, from what it said in the, and he was down in the DR because he was shooting a movie.
Yeah, he was doing another movie.
Well, I mean,
and he was in the Sopranos movie. He was in the Sopranos movie.
Yeah, exactly. Just in the Sopranos movie, playing two roles. So,
shame, man. I mean, he wasn't a young guy, but he was young enough. He was 67 years old. I mean, to me, it kind of, like on the music end of things, it kind of rivals like when Glenn Frey passed away. You know, Glenn Frey was like 63 when he passed away, and I guess he had, he was addicted to painkillers or something that weakened his immune system, and he eventually caught pneumonia, and he passed away at 63.
Oh, wow.
Just another young dude. I
remember I remember he was young when he did. Yeah, I remember when Glenn Frey passed away. I knew he wasn't, in his like late 70s or 80s. I didn't, he was a young guy, man.
Yeah, it just sucks, man. That guy was cool as hell too. Kind of like LIOTTA. I mean, similar age bracket. I think he passed away when did he pass away? 2013 or 14 or something like that. Him and Bowie kind of kicked it at the same point. Bowie was another guy, not young, but I guess he was closing on 70 when he passed away. Prince is another guy.
Yeah, but Prince, I think, was a lot younger.
Prince was I think 58, if I'm not mistaken.
But Prince too wasn't sick. Prince was, came out. It was an OD.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to pile on LIOTTA, but I got to imagine, there's probably a lot more to him passing away than just natural causes. He went in his sleep, but I got to imagine when they do the autopsy, you'll get a little bit more information. Whatever, man. R.I.P. Hendry.
Do a lot of favors for you, Hendry. What are you gonna do,
Hendry? But what else do we have this week? So, I think the Better Call mid-season finale came out on Better Call Saul came out on Monday. Fantastic. I know you don't really follow the show, but for those that do, wow, what a cliffhanger, man. Mid-season cliffhanger. I don't remember too many series ending or mid-season or finale or just like that. So for all those Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul fans, if you want to hit me up on Twitter or otherwise, that was some finale. I was meaning to today or tomorrow. I'm gonna probably watch after we get off taping this. I'm gonna watch the Obi-Wan Kenobi thing on Disney, which I didn't get a chance to.
Probably gonna check that out myself. Yeah, was it? It's a two-parter, right?
It's a two-parter. I tried to watch it this morning before I went to work, Mike, and for the reason Disney was acting up, it wouldn't load on the Fire Stick, and I didn't want to spend enough time, dicking around with it until I could get it. So I don't know, maybe everybody was trying to stream it or whatever the hell the problem was.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out this weekend. So
looks really good, man.
Yeah, we saw like 2 reboots, man, coming out. What is it? Jodie Foster's doing the next True Detective on HBO.
Right, which is a great show. There was one with Woody Harrelson, I think the first season or two.
Yeah, the Woody Harrelson McConaughey season is still numero uno. Then the Marshall Ali, I forget how I say his name, but Marshall Ali, the guy that won the Academy Award. Him, I think he was one too, actually. Him and Steven Dorff, I'd say, is the number 2 one. That Vince Vaughn, Colin Farrell one, I thought was dumb. That was the third, that's number 3. It's Jodie Foster and another. It's going to be 2 female detectives. I think it's going to deal with like occult stuff kind of again. They're not sure on the whole story. She's starring in it. She's executive producing it. And they're not sure on the timeline yet for the show. But
She
Yeah.
had a great career, Mike, but to me, I think she kind of, well, maybe she didn't get typecasted, but I'm always going to think of her as Clarice.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that brings her back. She had a career that went away for a while. I mean, she did go to college. She went to
Right.
what was it, Yale? She made her money as a child actor. I mean, she's supposedly the inspiration for the character in Once Upon a Time Hollywood. That little girl that
Oh,
Leo,
really?
yeah, she's supposedly the inspiration for that character.
She had a fantastic career. I mean, she's been around
Oh,
forever. I mean,
she's got 2 Academy Awards.
right.
She's been around for. I didn't realize she is. She's going to be 60 soon.
She was making
Yeah,
movies in the 70s,
so
man.
yeah, 60s, I think, late
Yeah.
60s, early 70s. Her career starts. Child actor. She does Taxi Driver at 12.
Right.
Like I said, then she disappears for a little bit. Goes to school. Goes to Yale. The whole John Hinckley Jr. thing happens with Reagan. And then she starts reemerging. What does she do? She did the Accused first. She wins the Academy Award.
Right.
And then a couple of years later, she bangs out
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs, which just catapults her.
Right.
And she goes on a run with that. She was even good. What was that last movie I saw her in? I saw her with the one with Matt Damon, where it's like off Earth and rich people. She plays like, it was really good. I forget the name of it. Elysium. I thought she was really good. I thought she was really good in that. And what was it? She was in Spike Lee's Inside Man.
Yeah. Inside Man was good.
Inside Man's a very good movie. Really, really good.
That's
movie.
what the Scottish actor, right? What's his face?
Was it Clive Owen?
Yeah, he's good. It was a good movie.
That is a very good movie. Real good. Typical like just tight Spike Lee cop movie. That and Clockers, I think, I mean, I think there's only
Clockers with Harvey Keitel. That was great.
I think there is only 2 cop movies, but he did capture it very well. I like his Clockers, I think, is a great movie. But here's the other reboot that we just saw 2 minutes before we started. They're rebooting Night Court, man.
Yeah, you were just telling me, man. I know Rob's a big fan of them. Yep. John Larroquette.
Yeah, it's just John Larroquette. It looked like they showed a cast photo online.
Who's still alive from that show? I mean, the
Bull
tall guy's passed away. Marky, whatever the hell her name is, passed
Marky
away.
Post is dead.
Right.
Charles Robinson, who played Mac, is dead.
Right.
Harry Anderson's dead. So you got those 3. And then the 2 that played the court officers on the show, Bull is still alive. And it was Marsha Warfield, I think, at the end. She's still alive too. She was a stand-up comedian. She's been in stand-up comedy for like 40 years.
And Robinson was in Ghostbuster, right?
No.
That's somebody different.
That's Ernie Hudson.
Oh man, I always get the 2 confused. Sorry.
Okay. All right. That's on you.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Send your letters to Chris. But yeah, I just saw the ad right before we started. It just said Night Court getting rebooted. It doesn't say what networks get. I think it might be going to Hulu. But yeah, I don't know. That show was kind of jumped the shark in its last couple of seasons. I don't know what they're going to do. I liked it in the beginning.
It was like around that Hill Street Blues times, or the Cheers time and that kind of era.
Yeah, it was good. Oh no, it rocked. The first few years it was on, people loved it. It was a hit. It was a goofy, oddball comedy, and then towards the end, it was just kind of like, all right, man, because that show I think ran too like 11 seasons.
Yeah, it was early 90s before it ended. I think.
It was just like 3. I think it was like the last 3 seasons were just like, oh, come on, man, enough is enough. But
what show from the 80s along those lines do you think just what was way past their expiration date? Was it that one, or was it Cheers? Was it Hill Street Blues?
Cheers started to just, who cares?
Was it LA Law? Remember LA Law?
Yeah, LA Law was another show I was into. I remember that show. Yeah, you finally get to a point of, I think after like 5 or 6 seasons, you don't care about the characters. Hey man, I gave up on Walking Dead. I think after like 7 seasons, they're up to the 11th.
Never watched an episode of it, man. Maybe one day I'll track back and watch it.
It's another one of those shows. It's like, it was great, but then it's like you're regurgitating the same stuff. I thought Sons of Anarchy started to do that as well.
Yeah. After the 5th season, I think.
Where it's like they get away from every time they're going to escape the federal government from all going to jail. where it was kind of like, all right. And then they go into jail and they figure out a way to get out. I mean, yeah, it was just
I think they probably should have canned that after 4 seasons. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever talked about Sons. I was a big fan. I know a lot of my sister-in-law is a big fan. Um, After the season where they went to Ireland, and I think after that 4th one, they probably could have canned it. You know, after they got rid of Perlman.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, you got what you wanted. You got rid of him. Yeah, it's one of those shows. Yeah, it was just it was a license to print money. So
Yeah,
what do you
no,
get?
I agree.
The Shield almost got that way too. I think they
Shield
really
got a little funny that last season or two. It was just like it was in that gray area. I agree. You know, it still had enough going on that I don't think it was overkill, but it was close. You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
I mean,
I'll tell you what. Not technically a reboot, but I was going to see it tonight. We'll probably see it tomorrow. Me and my wife are going to go. We're going to check out Maverick, which got great reviews.
yeah.
We're going to actually go in the theater and see it. So
I just read online too about it, how they're going to do Val Kilmer's character.
oh, cool. Okay.
They said he's playing like a admiral. It's like I think it's one scene, one cameo scene. Tom Cruise goes in to talk to him about what I still don't know the whole outline of the story yet of who's who and son. That Miles Teller guy, I don't know if he's playing his son. I don't know what the deal is. They said it's one scene with Val Kilmer and they're like computer generating his voice.
Okay.
So,
So Miles Teller is supposedly, from what I read, Goose's son.
oh, okay.
And Goose's
And
son,
what's his face? Meg Ryan's not in it.
Meg Ryan, is not in it.
Yeah, I didn't get
Connolly is in it.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly, because
She plays the I guess the admiral's daughter again. She reprises the role. Kelly McGillis is not in it.
no.
From what I gathered, I guess it's a little bit about Goose's son, who's got obviously, a problem with Maverick. And Maverick, I guess, is a instructor at Top Gun school. And it kind of goes back and forth between the problems between Goose's son and Maverick. And obviously there's going to be, what kind of like the same stuff that you saw in the first one, except, all, dollied up for the 21st century.
Yeah,
So,
supposedly, what was it? It was just at the Cannes Film Festival, and it got like a 7-minute standing ovation.
yeah, it's got great reviews, man.
And everyone's giving it these fantastic reviews. I'm definitely gonna go see it.
So we'll check it out in the movies. We'll probably, like I said, I was going to go tonight, but it got too late and we had
Yeah.
other plans. So tomorrow night, we'll try to check it out and, hopefully we can review it. for
Yeah,
everybody next week.
one thing I read or one thing I heard, they said it was like it hits every 80s nostalgia heartstring thing you think it's gonna pull, it pulls.
Oh, absolutely. I anticipate it being like a movie version, a souped up steroid movie version of Cobra Kai.
Yes,
like,
exact. Yep.
right.
I wrote that down because I wanted to say that, and you took the words right out. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna hit the 80s just right. I mean, I saw the one scene in the trailer. He pulls the tarp off his old motorcycle, and he's riding that bike. I mean, he's putting on the old jacket. It's the same, They're at the bar singing in the one. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Wait,
Who lost that love and feeling? I'm sure it's going to make appearance.
Oh yeah. It's either that or there's a new song.
I wonder if Mino Lamar is going to make an appearance.
No.
Mino Lamar was in Revenge of the Nerds, and he ended up being his partner after Goose passed away. What's your problem, man? And he turns around. That's Lamar.
What about Tim Robbins? Does Tim Robbins show up?
Oh yeah, right.
He's in it at the end. I wonder if Tom Skerritt makes an appearance.
How about the bald dude who was in Back to the Future? All the Back to the Future movies. I
Oh
can't imagine
yeah,
they bring him in.
Strickland. He's
He's still alive though, I think.
Yeah, I think he's in like his late 80s or
That
something.
guy was great. You're a slacker.
You're a slacker, McFly.
Yeah, I'm really psyched to see it. It looks really good. It got great reviews. Everybody's saying see it on the big screen instead of like waiting for it to be streamed. And it's Memorial Day weekend. So what else am I going to do? The Bordy Barn's closed.
Got nothing to do. Oh, what else is coming? Oh, Jurassic Park 2 is coming out. Whatever they're calling it.
That looks fantastic. I just checked out one of them, the most recent one. I guess they made. I guess it was on HBO or one of the. you know, this new one looks pretty good. I mean, it's the same premise, obviously. So
I
again, yeah, I kind of like what you said before, Mike. It's probably way past its expiration date. You know, I mean, how many times are you going to see the dinosaurs
it's the
brought back to
same.
life?
It's the same goddamn story Hey, we shouldn't create dinosaurs. All right, let's create dinosaurs. What's the worst that could happen? They did it in the first movie,
Yeah, yeah,
and they
yeah,
just kept doing it again.
yeah. Right, right.
And let's be honest, with all the technology we have, you could get a couple like F-16s and just probably like blow them all up from the air. You know,
Sure.
we have enough weaponry to kill all these dinosaurs.
Oh,
I'm getting
absolutely.
tired of like, you know, nuke the island. Nuke the island they're on. Get everybody off and just drop a small nuclear weapon and kill them all.
Right, 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 right.
It's
No, no,
but
no.
it
They
but it
make it
is
to they make it to New York City, and
it's just the
they're running around.
same story,
Yeah, you're
man.
right. You're right. I'll tell you what. I saw something on Apple TV. I've been meaning to check out too, called Prehistoric Age,
Oh, I
and
heard that's
basically,
a really good.
I got to check that out. I guess it looks like real life dinosaurs CGI'd in natural habitat. Five
Yes,
episodes on
yeah.
Apple TV.
I just I saw someone write a review of it, and they said if you're a dinosaur, if you're just a fan of dinosaurs, just watch this.
Supposedly, it's really good. So I'll probably check that out. That's on
Now,
Apple TV.
now I wonder if that makes them more like looking like birds and stuff. Because isn't that kind of like the way they say a lot of these dinosaurs did look?
Yeah, you
They
know,
had more bird-like qualities.
the crazy thing was I was doing a deep dive on this stuff like the other day. Like it's like the thing came on, so I was watching it, and then the prehistoric thing came up from Apple TV, and I started doing a deep dive, and apparently, I guess they have the technology realistically to clone a dinosaur at this point. And you're right, a lot of the DNA, well, at least uh, I guess, comes from birds and shit. So they've got some stuff like it's similar to the technology that you see in the movie. It's kind of like it's been perfected. You know, whether or not they follow through with it is something different. But you know, apparently this show is going to show them in their natural habitat. It's going to show you like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's going to show you them in the water-based dinosaurs, the ones that fly. Super, super realistic. You know, it's all computer generated, obviously, but
Yeah.
looks super real. You know, so anything that they did in Jurassic Park, think about that, except a little bit more like geographical nature type feel to it, from what I can gather. So we'll see. I'll definitely check it out. I saw the review the other day. Like you said, it looks like it got pretty good reviews. So between that, Kenobi, Maverick, you know, next couple of days, you know, obviously it's a holiday week, and I'll try to catch out up on all three of those things. Um,
Oh,
what
what
else?
else did you have? Mission Impossible too, right? Was coming.
Yeah, Mission Impossible's coming up. You know, I was never a big fan of that, Mike. You know, I mean, I watched the series as a kid. You know, when we were whatchamacallit, you know, on TV and stuff. And then I saw the first movie that came out, I guess, in the mid '90s, which was good, but you know, it wasn't like
Yeah,
something that I
it's another one. They've beaten this dead horse enough. All right, I'm gonna take a wild guess and say a bad guy stole some stuff and he's got to go get it back, or the country and the world is gonna blow up.
I'll make another guess. I would say
Oh.
maybe it's Russian based. You know, with everything that's going on in the Ukraine. I don't know when the plot of the movie was written, but I'm sure maybe you get like a triple X type, you know, type plot or something along those lines in Eastern Europe.
Well, this was the one too. I think he filmed the whole thing during COVID. He had a meltdown on the set where he
Yeah.
screamed. He screamed at everybody about how much money it was costing, and somebody recorded him, and he had a complete freak out.
Well, he was freaking about COVID. Like he said to the staff, I don't know if it was this movie or something. I think it was this movie. I think you're right. And basically, what he was saying, somebody got COVID, and before then, he was like taking every precaution known to man about the staff not getting COVID. And he said something to the effect that he goes, we're the standard right now in the movie industry. You know, what we do is going to set the standard for other movies being made in COVID right now. And he goes, if we mess up, if somebody gets COVID, everybody's going to suffer. The industry is going to shut down. And he took a lot of precautions, and I guess eventually somebody got it. I mean, but yeah, he was kind of like a little bit of a Nazi about things, when it came to precautions and stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. What else do we have? I've been watching this Kaminsky Method with Michael Douglas on Netflix. Have you checked that out at all?
No, it's been out for like a couple of years. I think it's on
Yeah,
the
it's a pretty
third.
interesting show, man. It's got a couple of pretty cool characters. I guess Michael Douglas plays like some sort of teacher in the movie industry. I saw an appearance with Morgan Freeman in one of the episodes. Shelley the Machine from Glengarry Glen Ross had a couple of parts in
Yeah,
it.
Alan. Yeah, I knew Alan Arkin was in it. I didn't know.
He's good. He's
I
good.
didn't know Morgan Freeman. Alan Arkin's just a solid actor.
Yeah, man, he's good. He's good.
Like
I like Alan Arkin a lot.
yeah, whatever he's in, he always nails.
Definitely. He was good in this. What was he? Was he in Little Miss Sunshine?
Yeah, he was the grandfather in that.
That was good, man. That was a cool movie.
The original In-Laws. He was
Oh
excellent.
yeah.
He was hilarious. Shelley, Serpentine. He was hilarious. Him and Peter Falk. That's one of the funniest movies of like the late 70s. Just
you know what I want to check out, Mike?
What?
The Ricky Gervais special on Netflix. Apparently he goes crazy like on transgender people. Like
I
again, I'm
watched
not advocating that, folks, so I mean if you're listening to it,
I
I'm
watched it. He makes his jokes, tries to explain it, and that's it. And I'm not going to sit here and explain it for him. I watched it. His thing is like he makes the joke of like he makes a couple of like trans jokes about men who transition to women. Makes a few jokes about that, then goes back into like his regular, then goes back into keeps going with his act, comes back again, tries to I mean, it seems like he squashes the whole thing at the end and he tries to explain himself. And like I watched this a few days ago, so I'm fuzzy on the details. He tries to explain himself again. Seems like he does explain himself, but he's definitely gonna get backlash for it.
Oh, no question about it. The people are going crazy about it, even more so than the Chappelle thing. But he's like one of those guys that I don't think you can cancel a guy like that. I don't think he gives a shit.
Can't listen, man. Him, Chappelle, these guys are worth 150, $200 million. You're not canceling them.
Right.
You're not canceling someone worth almost $250 million. You can't cancel
I agree.
that. He's going to come out, and I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people that are going to come out against him for this. I'm sure there's going to be the backlash. I'm sure there's going to be, boycott this, boycott that, cancel him, or whatever they want to say. Netflix should pull the special. Netflix paid a lot of money. I'm sure they paid a lot of money to Ricky Gervais, and they paid a lot of money to get that special. They're not pulling it.
And listen, they just sent that ad to their employees last week or a couple weeks ago. They're like, listen, if you don't like our content, maybe you should find a different job. Which I gotta be honest with you, a lot of companies, I think you mentioned it a couple weeks ago about the pendulum switching back in the stand-up comedy realm. I kind of see. I don't think it'll ever go back to the way it was, but I kind of agree with you, Mike, because I think some of the stuff that you see on Netflix, this whole cancel culture, it's kind of moving a little bit more towards the middle.
Dude, it all comes down to a dollar sign.
Right.
Listen, that who's that one female Australian comedian? She had like a Netflix special. I don't know how much
Rebel Wilson?
No, she's a very progressive comic. Oh, I forget her name now. I just forgot her name. Escapes me. Oh, Hannah Gatsby. Very progressive. She got pulled into the Dave Chappelle thing. She is a lesbian, progressive, very forward-thinking person. And I don't know how much money her specials have made or what they paid her, but I'm sure they paid Chappelle and Ricky Gervais a ton more money than they paid this woman. And no matter what she says, whether she comes, because she came out, against the CEO of Netflix when he threw he threw her name in the ring, which I thought was kind of dumb too. Like, well, we have Hannah Gatsby, and she was like, "Why are you putting?" And I think she had all right to say that. Like, why are you putting my name in your mouth? This I'm not defending. She didn't like the special, obviously, so she was like, "Why are you defending it? Don't put me into defend it." But like I said, it's all going to come down to money. That's it. And they paid a lot of money for these specials, so They're not going to get rid of them.
Yeah, they're not going away. They're not going away. I'll check it out. Those are the things I definitely want to check out over the weekend. I'm going to watch Obi-Wan. I'm going to watch Maverick tomorrow, probably with my wife. I'm going to check out the dinosaur stuff, the prehistoric thing on Apple TV. Speaking of Rebel Wilson, she's got this movie that's, I guess, trending on Netflix called Senior Year. She's an interesting character. I don't know if she was ever in stand-up or anything, but she lost a ton of weight. Australian actor, I guess, in those Pitch Perfect movies. Pretty interesting, pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll check it out. But with that, let's get to plugs and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, man. Time flies by, folks, when you're having fun. We got the usuals. Me, DJ Chris Clash, www.chrisclash.com. I'm booked for June, I believe, and most of July, but please hit me up on the website, Facebook, social media, cell phone. If you're a friend, I'll try to fit you in if you have an event. We got Jay Cristiano. Interest rates have jacked up the last couple of months, but if you're in the refi market, purchase market, give Jay a call at 844-442-7334. Use the promo code 4215 at Cardinal Financial. Got Mike's Place, Celtic Monkey, Boo on the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's go Rangers. But Mike's got a spot in Wilmington, I believe, North Carolina. Nice Irish bar called the Celtic Monkey. Got Tommy Devitt's Place 5-Star Shopping by Tommy at 917-559-8264 in the Mad Donkey on 36th Avenue in Astoria. Piazza Pizza, Eugene's Place, 914-921-4444. And Vladdy E9 Bistro on 53 Bruckner Boulevard in the Bronx. Take it away, Mike.
All right. June 6th, June 12th, 16th, 27th, 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock shows. I'll be at Broadway Comedy Club. Go to BroadwayComedyClub.com for tickets. This Wednesday, June 1st, I'll be at the Juke Bar in Manhattan. Go to Village Idiot on Instagram, Village Idiot Comedy, for details. What else do I got? Oh, Jack and I Can Paint, Pat Dixon, Crime Report. Check it out. Check them out on Locals. And last but not least, my boy Matty Rock. Congratulations, Matt. You're still number 2, but you're not in the barrel anymore. Enjoy the retirement, buddy. And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Peace out, everybody.